Hello there, welcome back to the channel. This is Nerd.World Films and continuing the Critters franchise. Please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Maybe check out the previous video if you like this one or you're more of a completionist like I am and you don't want to just start in at Critters 2. Critters 2 is awful. It's bad. It's terrible. I'm not even going to lie. I love the first Critters movie. I love all the Critters movie. I even love this one. But it is bad. It's bad. I mean, it's really bad. The movie once again sees the return of Scott Grimes as Brad, although this time he returns to town as a really awkward and kind of annoying teenager. It also sees the return of Ugg and Lee as the intergalactic bounty hunters, and a few other characters, most importantly Charlie, played by Don Keith Opper. And yeah, that's about it. Aside from the fact that there are critters in this thing, that's about the only thing you can say for it. Critters 2, the main course, came out a few years after the original in 1988, but it is awful. I know I keep saying that. Let's tell you why it's awful. Instead of me just saying awful, let's just discuss why it's awful. If you disagree with me, feel free to tell me in the comments below that I'm a prick and I don't know what I'm talking about, because there is an element of that and it could be true. So there you go for it. This movie begins basically sort of following on from the first movie, but it doesn't really give any context as to why it's taken so bloody long for these eggs to bloody hatch. 2 years later, this idiot shop owner and this idiot teenager are getting a load of eggs from a field that they're going to try and pass off as Easter chocolate. As chocolate eggs. They just paint them, and this old woman believes, oh yeah, sleazy guy whose shop, by the way, is fucking disgusting. You would never go in there, buy anything from him, ever. It is a vile shop. You would never buy anything. I don't understand why you trust this cigar chomping creep. And when he says, oh, I got all these Easter chocolates in, it's literally these eggs he found in a barn at the house from the previous movie. They could be anything. They look like reptile eggs. You'd assume they were crocodile eggs or something, wouldn't you? They just look like a reptile's egg. And they just paint them and passes them off as Easter chocolate. He deservedly gets eaten for his troubles. And then we move on to basically the critters unleashing on the town and people calling alien all the time. The sheriff from the previous movie is now not interested and he's living in a caravan. He decides to leave town because the critters he's like, nope, critters are back, I'm out, I'm gone. The current sheriff actually has one of the best deaths in the movie. He dresses up as the Easter Bunny against his will, and while he steps on sort of one of the shells, one of the eggs, and while he's bent over looking at it, a load of the critters jump into his suit and eat him, and he falls through a church window dead. A lot of things about that are questionable. Where did the critters go? Why didn't they attack more people? Why didn't they finish him off? Why did they leave perfectly good food behind? There are lots and lots of questions about this, but the critters begin to reproduce exponentially. Killing is what they do, because they just do nothing but eat these bloody little creatures. Now, in addition to that, they also do this fairly epic thing, which does appear again in the franchise later, but they basically ball themselves all up together, turn into a big sort of gigantic critter ball, and they roll, and they actually roll over someone and eat him while they're going, just leaving a skeleton behind. For a comedic effect, this is fine, but overall, a little dumb. The script and dialogue is appalling. This film screams, the first movie was great, let's quickly get another film out. To produce a film from start to finish, edit and release, publicity, everything within 2 years is not an amazing feat, but it's still quick. It's still pretty quick, and this film has that rushed feel. It feels like it was written by committee. It feels like it was wrote by people are going to come and watch this because they like the first film, which is still fresh in their memory, which in 1986 would have been, they've only just started coming out on home video, which home video was going more popular then. They would have just been getting copies of this and they would have been having it at home, rewatching it, and now they found out there's another one coming in and bring them out to watch it, and boy would they have been disappointed, because this film is trash. It is garbage. The dialogue, the script, the acting is all appalling. The only upside is you learn that Charlie is now an intergalactic bounty hunter working with Ugg and Lee, and the one really hard part of the movie is when Lee gets killed. And spoilers, by the way, I don't care about spoilers on this channel. This film's too old to worry about spoilers. Anyway, Lee gets killed after he's emulated a porn star, and the actress who played played that particular character, rest in peace. She passed away a few years after this in a car crash. Quite sad to learn when I was researching this video. And yeah, when Ugg discovers it, he reverts back to his alien self, and then he helps trap all the critters in a building, which they then promptly blow up, which is when they all roll out of it thinking they've killed them, but they probably only killed a few of them. Somehow the critters didn't explode, which makes no sense. They rolled up into a gigantic ball, rolled out and started rolling over people, because even Ugg thought this would kill them, because it should have killed them. It was an explosion. The critters are not immortal creatures. They're not invulnerable. They're not particularly resilient. A normal bullet will kill them. A firecracker will kill them. They're not that powerful. They just reproduce quickly and they eat everything in sight. They incapacitate you and kill you. They swarm you effectively. But in reality, you see people be able to pick these things up and kill them with their bare hands when they have a mind to. So they're not invulnerable. It makes no sense. But anyway, Ugg actually shapeshifted into a critter and drew them all in there. What happened to his clothes? Don't know. Doesn't matter. He somehow shapeshifted his clothes because, you know, why not? A lot of things are kind of twitchy about this film. It's mostly the dialogue and the acting and the fact that the pace is a little too quick. There's no character development, barely anything. It's all nostalgia for the last movie. And look, isn't the critters dangerous? Aren't they funny killing all these people? Ha ha ha, God, it's terrible. It's terrible. You wrote a bad film. You made a bad film. Really bad. And they do correct themselves a little bit further down the line with this franchise. Don't think this is the end of the franchise. It is not. The critters will be back. Oh yes. Also, end of the movie, we all think Charlie sacrifices himself. Spoilers again, he doesn't, but he crashes the alien ship into the critter ball to destroy it. Ugg then takes on Charlie's face, and then is picked up later by aliens after saying goodbye to Charlie, who he'll actually learn parachuted out of the alien ship. Somehow, even though we watched him screaming a sort of death cry as he rammed into the aliens as the ship crashed into them from a fairly low height. So how he parachuted out of it again is questionable, who knows. So very quickly, gonna score this film. I'm gonna give it 1 out of 6. It's the complete opposite of the first movie. It is so bad. It's not the bad it's good category either. Critters is not even so bad it's good. It's just a good film. It's an excellent movie. It's very enjoyable. This film is enjoyable, but you've really got to turn your brain off, and really I only ever watch it because I'm a completionist. And I like to watch all the movies in the franchise, which we'll come back to later in this franchise about being a completionist. But yeah, 1 out of 6, it's just dog meat. Not saying avoid it, it is enjoyable if you like the Critters films. But if this was the film you came into the franchise with, you would never have watched any of the others. So with that said, that was Critters 2. Next time, Critters 3. I just want to take this moment to thank you for watching that video. If you liked what you saw, please check out my social links in the description box below to Instagram and Twitter and others, and also is down there a link to my Patreon page where you can support this channel and the others as I try to grow this franchise and do this more regularly. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, thank you for watching, and bye bye.